Welcome back to For Golf Nerds Only. This vlog is for those people that are truly passionate about golf. We're going to be picking up where we left off in our last video about golf course destinations. In our last video, which you can probably find linked to this video, was covering all of the great destinations across America based on state. This one will be focusing based on trip. We've broken this video down into buddies trips, family trips, and romantic trips. The three major types of golf trips you'll go on. We are not considering business trips because you usually don't get a lot of control over those destinations. Buddies trips are any trips that are with you and your friends or yourself solo, where you have 3 rounds or more minimum being played. At least one of the courses has to be great, top 100, phenomenal, and mind-blowing experience. You golf every day of the trip. This trip is not appealing to other golfers, so significant others, wives, family members, children, this is not a trip for them. Usually when you arrive, you're either playing or you're departing and you're playing because you need all the days and all the time you have dedicated to golf. You are at a hotel or a resort that's in a positive golf environment, so that means everybody at the facility understands that you're a golfer and they want you to golf. You also will golf at places that are off of the resort if necessary to get as much golf in as possible. Also, if this is part of a buddies trip where you have your friends, you should also be very concerned about the 19th hole, the pub situation, the bar situation. All of that should be taken into account when planning these trips. If it is a family trip, you are looking to have one very good round of golf, hopefully associated with a very good resort. You'll most likely have to play on property so you don't leave your family departing for very long drives to go play this course. And that resort or property has a lot of non-golf activities for your family. These activities usually will include things like horseback riding, children's activities, water slides, pools, hiking, beach, all those things you don't care about because they're not golf. The next trip, and this comes up very often, is your romantic trip. You will usually have to golf on property, so you want to find a really great resort. We're very fortunate that we live in a country that has a lot of great resorts and hotels that have golf courses on their property. This is usually for a couple's getaway, a retreat, an anniversary, a baby moon, a birthday, some celebration for you and your partner. You're looking for luxury accommodations or very nice accommodations. Usually on a golf trip, I don't care where I stay. I'll stay at the Quality Inn, the Red Roof Inn, whatever bad, seedy motel there is. It helps me drop the costs and get as much golf in as possible. But I also stay at a great resort if that's what I need to get out of a great course. For the romantic trip, you usually want to be in a really fun city that you'll both enjoy and be able to go out, or in a really great relaxing getaway. I find that most great golf resorts offer a better experience related to the relaxing getaway. Always opt for the room with a view on these trips. You're looking for one good round. This maybe not be the greatest round, but it's one good round. If you're not married, go for 2. Because when you are married, you're getting 1. If you're lucky. Always go for early morning tee times. My best recommendation on these trips is to make sure you get a great spa package. It's like an extra love tax that you have to pay as a golfer. In that experience, the best part about it is if you plan the spa for 2 hours into your round and plan a meal to arrive into the room when she's done, then it's almost like you didn't golf. Make sure that the resort or the hotel or the surrounding area has great restaurants and great attractions that are nearby. This trip is not about golf. You're just trying to get as much golf in as possible. But sometimes these trips are great because you find yourself at a great resort you normally wouldn't go to solo or with your guys. And now you're at this great resort and you get to golf on it. And if you have the type of person that wants to ride with you in the cart, this is not the time to be the stressed, manic golfer about your game. This is the time where you're just like, hey, I always have fun and I'm so happy to have you here. So we're going to start off by region. Our first region is the West. We're going to start with great buddies destination locations. Starting off with Indian Wells, we're going to be moving into Palm Desert. Great location, two great courses, phenomenal property. Actually, a cluster of hotels are in that area, so you have a lot of options in the Indian Wells area. If you're a fan of desert golf, this is for you. As I've mentioned before, I'm kind of okay with desert golf, but it is premium. The conditions are always great. Winter is no problem there. Summer, it can get very hot, but is never really a problem. Also in that area is La Quinta Inn. Great buddies location, a lot of courses, a great getaway, especially if you're already in California or Southern California. This is a great getaway from those locations. After that, I would say moving south, Torrey Pines is great, or the Carlsbad area. Torrey Pines has its own resort on property, but you could also stay at the Aviera or I'm forgetting the name of the property, but a lot of great properties that are in that area that you could stay at and bounce around the entire area. But you usually are definitely going to want to get Torrey in if you're on a buddy's trip, but I would also look at getting places like Madeiras and all the other courses I mentioned in the past. If you are somebody that when you have your buddies trips, you guys like to gamble, I would look at Cache Creek. Not a lot of great courses that far north, but if you want to bring gambling into your trip, then you have that. If you really want to bring gambling into your trip, go to Vegas. It doesn't matter where you stay. The only course that it matters is if you want to play Shadow Creek, then you have to stay at the MGM properties. Shadow Creek is notoriously an outstanding course. You have to decide if that's the type of outing you and your buddies want to have. The king of all golf courses and destinations is Bandon Dunes, which is in Oregon, which is in Bandon, Oregon. That is the ultimate buddies trip. It's in the West Coast. It is unbeaten. It will not be beaten. If you want to have a great buddies trip, figure out a way to make the somewhat difficult trek out to Bandon. You will not be let down. As for family trips, I would highly recommend the Omni La Costa. Great family destination, two very nice courses, very easily accessed, but lots of activities for your family. Beautiful views, very relaxing environment, really almost the most family-friendly environment that is there. You can also include Pelican Hill. While family-friendly, not necessarily the most kid-friendly at that luxury premium, but they do have a lot of great activities and places for children to interact and for you to have fun. I think La Costa is a little bit better than that in that area. And then also on the west, a little bit more inland is Colorado. I would highly recommend the Broadmoor. Great, beautiful family destination. But both Pelican Hill and Broadmoor at the top of my romantic getaway destinations. The Broadmoor is phenomenal. It's one of the best hotel resorts I've ever been to, and you just can't go wrong there. Everything's at a premium. It is a fine luxury hotel with great courses on them, very historic, that you will not want to miss. Pelican Hill is my favorite in California getaway. Two great Fazio courses, outstanding property, amazing views, and one of the best pool cabana situations that you and your partner will really enjoy to get away. Also, you have Monarch Beach, which is in Dana Point. Very nice course there. You could actually drive very easily between a lot of these courses to access them, but also another great getaway. I think that's managed by Waldorf Astoria. And then last, but definitely not least, you have Half Moon Bay. Half Moon Bay is an outstanding property. Beautiful views, managed by the Ritz-Carlton. Great views from the room, overlooking the cliffs, also overlooking the golf course. You really can't go wrong. And it's a beautiful getaway while you still also have reasonable access to different cities. And I should also mention, I can't believe I forgot this, Pebble Beach is the ultimate buddies trip in California. Of course, you have Pebble, you have Spyglass, you have Spanish Bay. The hotel works at a very luxury level. But I wouldn't highly recommend it for families or for romantic getaways. But if you have the type of person that would want to have great spa services, great meals, and understands that you'll be golfing a lot, Pebble is definitely a destination you want to include. Now moving on to the south, we are moving into our buddies location for the south. Definitely got to include Streamsong in Florida, one of the best buddies trips that you can make in the south. is getting out to Stream Song. Three great courses. Core Crenshaw course, Doak course, Gil Hanse course, which I recently played. A lot of fun, great variety between the red and the blue, the red and the black course. The blue course is a great complementary course to the red, while very similar, a little bit different. Also in Florida, you have Innisbrook. Innisbrook is a lot of fun. Has the Copperhead course. You see it always with the Valspar. Uh, Beautiful course, traditional parkland style. But this destination leads into Tampa, which has a lot of great buddies opportunities, and you could also still head out to Stream Song. By itself, I probably wouldn't recommend it as a solo buddies trip, just because it has two courses and its top course is substantially better than the island course. And so you have a little bit of extra time on your hands, which doesn't quite meet the buddy standard of having 3+ rounds or more. Additionally, in Florida, you have Jacksonville. I prefer the Renaissance. It's right next to the World Golf Hall of Fame, which I think is a great destination for you and your buddies if you need something that is not golf related to get out and enjoy those rounds at that location. Two very nice courses. Not great courses, not jaw-dropping courses, but very solid courses that you'll enjoy. But it also allows you to have access to TPC Sawgrass. TPC Sawgrass is a great course. The Dye Valley course is also very good. So you can have a nice trip with a little bit of variety in terrain and style and design. You get Pete Dye, you have Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer's courses there. So it's really a lot of fun at those courses. Moving on, we're going to move to North Carolina. North Carolina is full of great destinations that you can go and play at. Number one would be Pinehurst. You have Pinehurst itself, the property, but you have the Pinehurst area. Pinehurst itself is a great resort for buddies. 8 or 9 courses on this property alone. Don't handcuff yourself necessarily just to Pinehurst. A property that I love myself, a little bit less in cost, but a lot more kind of golf buddies trip friendly. If you just want to just relax and kind of be with your boys, is Mid Pines. Great property, 2 great Donald Ross courses, kind of central to everything. You're just down the street from everything else. I will say if you have children, I would lean towards Pinehurst. If it's just you and your boys and maybe you don't have a large group, but you have a mid-sized group, I would probably say Mid Pines, but definitely play both courses or both areas. You could also pick up great courses like Tobacco Road, which is a great addition to any golf trip in the Pinehurst area. Moving down a little bit, you can move to Myrtle Beach. I would suggest for a larger kind of buddies trip to make sure you stay at the Barefoot property. A lot of great courses there. A lot of great courses in the area. Highly recommend, like I mentioned for Tobacco Road, picking up some more Strands courses if you can, and that would definitely be True Blue and Caledonia. Moving a little bit further south, you are running into Kiowa. Kiowa is a great luxury resort where you have the Ocean Course, phenomenal, great history, host of the PGA this year. You definitely want to have this experience. The courses that are not the Ocean Course are good courses, and they are plentiful. I believe there's 3 or 4 other courses attached to that property, but this is really just a great trip. That resort checks all the boxes. It's great for a romantic getaway, it's great for a family getaway, and it's great for a buddies trip. Moving to Hilton Head, you have 2 great properties there in the Montage, which is your more luxury high-end. It's inland at Bluffton, but you still are only about a 45-50 minute drive to Hilton Head, or Sea Pines, which is where Harbor Town and Atlantic Dunes and Heron Point are. You have a plethora of courses in the area, very similar to that Myrtle Beach feel where you can't go very far when you're in Hilton Head without running across other courses that are great, but play the entire area. I fell in love with the Montage. I drove around the Sea Pines area. It looked beautiful, lots of homes, lots of places to stay, beautiful views all around. And last but not least, I haven't taken this trip yet, but I plan on it one day, is the RTJ Trail in Alabama. A lot of guys I know have taken this trip. I feel the way about RTJ Trail the same way I feel about Arizona. It's a trip that I'm going to get to, but it's not a trip that I'm fighting to get to just because I don't know of the great courses that are down there. I don't see a lot of highly ranked courses that pop up in the top 100 from these places, but I know that everybody tells me when you go down there, you always enjoy the experience. And the trail just seems like a great buddies trip to start at one point, work your way down through the state, playing great courses. So I highly recommend that. And rarely am I disappointed. And I've never actually been disappointed, but rarely am I underwhelmed by a Robert Trent Jones classic. In the South, moving over, we have great family destinations. Starting with the Greenbrier, phenomenal property in West Virginia, has a little bit of everything. Probably not enough courses to warrant being a solo buddies trip, but if you're in the area, it's great. But for families, a lot of amenities, more than you would actually reasonably need. Well maintained, great customer service, and a really great track there. I already mentioned that you have Kiowa and the Montage and Sea Pines from the families list. All of these places would be great for families, all at different price points. Definitely worth looking into. I would definitely say that Kiowa and the Montage are your more luxury resorts, but they have a lot of great amenities. But they're also great places to stay. I would also like to include Sea Island. Two good courses are there at Sea Island. One hosts the PGA. Conditions are phenomenal. One of the best practice ranges I've been to, and a great academy. So if you want to take a lesson while on a trip with your family, I highly recommend Sea Island. I had a great lesson while out there. Actually, had family out with there, and some family members took golf lessons starting out there at Sea Island. Um, a place that I would say that is great that I probably didn't talk enough about was Innisbrook. Innisbrook is great for family. When I was there, it was filled with children and they were having the time of their lives. Also, the room and the accommodations were perfect for buddies trips and for families. Nice big rooms, almost feel like small apartments, space that you can move and yet still feel private and connected to each other. So these are really great experiences. And then for a family, I would also highly recommend Primland in Virginia. Very, very far south, very, very remote, but a great experience, a great luxury experience. The course is very good. There's only the one course out there, but it will definitely keep you entertained if that's your one course to play during a family's trip. There are no other courses in the immediate vicinity to that area. That's why it is not on my buddies list, but it is a great family trip. And then it is also a great addition onto our romantic getaway list. For the South is Premlin. Perfect, gorgeous nonstop views of woods and forests and mountains coming from Premland. High-end luxury with lots of accommodations and a lot of activities and great spa services. Also on our romantic list, we have Kiowa. We have, just one second, we have the Montage. We have Premland. All great destinations that we mentioned before, all with great services, a lot of fun, something to really engage you and the person that you're bringing to this, be it your wife or your girlfriend, significant other. I would also like to recommend, if you are in Florida, go to Miami. She's going to love it. You guys will have a lot of fun. There's plenty of courses down there. I was a big fan of the Turnberry property. It's in, I don't even want to mess up the name of that city, but it's great. It's near the city. You can enjoy Miami, get a little golf in. Beautiful locker room with almost every famous athlete having a locker room there. So definitely try taking that experience. Also for romantic getaways and family getaways, the Ritz-Carlton Reynolds property is phenomenal. Luxury, lots of courses. Would be good for a buddies course. I would say that it may need a little bit more premium courses, but I haven't played it yet, so I know that they have a great lakeside course that is phenomenal and a lot of other courses that I've heard really great things about. Also hear that the conditions are phenomenal all the time. So you really can't go wrong. Great family trip, but also a great romantic getaway. And then I would also make sure that you want to try to take in Sea Pines as a romantic getaway, just to be closer to the water. You'll have more people around you, but it's great so you can bike through the city. A lot of activities that you could take in, a lot of great dining, a lot of diversity there. Next, we're moving to the Midwest. The Midwest for me is the top of the buddies trip list, just because that's almost the only trips that you can really take there. So when you're there, a lot of the great destinations in Michigan are going to be based around Traverse City, where you have Forest Dunes, which has the Tom Weisskopf course, which is great, and then also has the Loop. The Loop is the reversible 18 course by Tom Doak. It's good. If you play it once, you kind of get the idea of what you're going to get going the other way, but it is a very good course. The Boyne property and also the Inn at Bay Harbor, both great properties. The whole Traverse area, including Grand Traverse and that resort that has three great courses on it. Stay at any of these locations. Find one that suits your personality and the group that you're with. I would probably recommend the Inn at Bay Harbor, really more for our family and romantic than for our groups. But the Boyne property, the Grand Traverse, Forest Dunes, all great additions to a buddy's trip. You can go to Grand Traverse and play probably two good buddies trips out there or one really mega great trip. Next, we're moving to Wisconsin, probably my favorite state for a golf trip. From there, you have Kohler, which you're picking up the four Pete Dye courses in the Whistling Straits, Whistling Irish, Black Wolf Run, and the Meadows course. All very fun, but you have two amazing courses, and really the Irish is really, really great. So you have all in that area, all on property. You have those courses. So that destination alone is great. But if you don't mind driving, I would also highly recommend going to these other resorts that are really awesome. My favorite for the complete buddies vibe, that feeling of you and just the guys are out, is really at Sand Valley. Sand Valley is built in the mindset of being the Midwest Bandon Dunes. You go, you have fun, you enjoy, you get a chance to talk and hang out with your buddies. And the best thing is, though, everybody on property is all golf all the time, which sets up a really positive golf mindset for yourself while traveling. Next, I would also include in Indiana, the French Lick property. You have a nice resort, two very nice courses, a phenomenal Pete Dye course, which I'm excited to be going back to very soon, and a Donald Ross course that is in the top 100 that I would probably say is warranted in its 99 or 100 ranking inside of the top 100. Great experiences, very nice hotel. And if you are into gambling, they have a nice casino there as well. So you can really have fun. There's not a lot of the courses there, but if you're on a small buddies trip or you just want to play the Pete Dye course twice, which I think it definitely warrants that, you're definitely getting everything that you need. They do have a small, I believe, 9-hole course in addition and maybe like a short course area, but the Donald Ross and Pete Dye will definitely keep you occupied. The next new addition to this list, and this is a course I haven't been to, a resort I haven't been to, but I was actually planning on it. I actually thought I was going to try to convince my wife for us to get married there, was the Big Cedar Lodge. Lots of courses, all almost fairly new. Great experience with the new addition of the Tiger Woods course that just got built, the Paynes Valley. You have a wide variety of terrains, very golfer friendly. You can almost just run a few trips at this location, but it's really built for a golf getaway. Great courses all over, great terrain out in the Ozarks. You don't want to miss this property. Moving on, you have our family list for the Midwest. French Lick is also very nice. A lot of activities out there. I would say that if you are within 2 or 3 hours of French Lick, I would consider this a destination, but I probably wouldn't jump on a plane. But I'll do some more investigation about different activities for our family on this next trip and get back to everybody. Big Cedar Lodge is essentially a roller coaster for a family and a golfer. So if you have young children, you don't have to worry about them being bored while you are playing golf. This is probably one of those trips where you could break the rule and play multiple courses while on a family trip. And you also have Boyne, which is a fantastic property. Has a lot of different golf courses over a spread out parcel of land throughout Grand Traverse, but they have a lot of activities that keep your family occupied during that time, especially if your family's into things like hiking. And then, just as a note, Boyne turns itself into a really great winter facility. So while you, of course, for me, I would never go anywhere cold in the winter, but if that is something that you do and you like to ski, definitely check out Boyne. And then for a great family and romantic getaway, the Inn at Bay Harbor is amazing. It is the luxury leg of the Boeing family. It has a really one of my most underrated courses in America is at the Inn with the links in the Quarry course by Arthur Hills. Fantastic course, fantastic beauty, gorgeous views of the lakes, unique terrain, really experience you don't want to miss. Next, you have the East. And the East is probably going to be the shortest part of this video in the sense that the East doesn't have a lot of great, outstanding golf resorts. What I will tell you to do, a golf trip that I think every group of buddies should take, is getting out to Bethpage. So find yourself a place to stay in Manhattan, go head out, play Bethpage Black. If you can, do 36, play the red course, also great. And then while you're out there, you might as well throw in Montauk Downs, a course that all the locals rant and rave about on the water. If it's windy, you're going to not probably love it, but on a nice, great day, you're going to have a great experience and have a lot of great views. There are also a lot of other courses outside of the city, but I would just say have a guy's trip, throw in 2 or 3 rounds, and then just hang out in the city and experience New York. It's one of our better cities. In addition, you do have Turning Stone. Turning Stone. I haven't been there yet. I hear that the courses are nice, but I haven't heard anybody tell me that I have to go play it. So I will get out to it eventually, but I haven't heard phenomenal things about it. But on the family end and on the romantic end, Nemacolin, I have been to. It is phenomenal. It's a luxury hotel in southern Pennsylvania. It has 2 great Pete Dye courses. One that used to host the PGA, one recently built towards the end of his career. The property is massive. It has a lot for your family to take in and various activities on property. And it's also an amazing romantic getaway. Your wife or significant other would be happy to have you leave so they can experience all the joys of that property. Last, we're going to talk about destinations that are not necessarily international, but not part of the 48. And so first we're going to talk about great buddies trips that you can take. And we're going to start with Cabot Cliffs. Cabot Cliffs is my favorite singular golf course in the Cabot Cliffs property. Cabot Links is the name of the property, but Cabot Cliffs is my favorite golf course I've ever played. Great experience, beautiful countryside, an experience that you definitely don't want to miss. Next, you have, for destinations you should check out, the Dominican Republic. Phenomenal, great courses, great buddies trip. You've probably been offered by buddies that we're all going to the Dominican Republic to play golf. You can't beat the courses, you can't beat the views, you can't beat the experience. Definitely get out to the DR. Next, for me personally, my favorite of Latin America is Cabo. I got married there. It's an experience that I truly loved and enjoyed. Lots of great courses, great resorts all left around. I was a big fan of Quivira and the property that is attached to Pueblo Bonito, where I got married. I played it twice. It's an experience that you'll definitely want. The groomsmen in my party also really enjoyed playing it there. Next, we have Bermuda, which has a lot of courses for such a small island. I think it would be a great buddies trip, essentially just off the coast of North Carolina by a couple hours. You can get out there. Everybody there is very happy. Everybody understands and is very understanding of the golf courses there. The golf courses are so close to each other on this small island. You can essentially play 36 a day, having great experiences. And definitely get out to the Fairmount. It's probably my favorite hotel that while I was out there. It has a great short course on it with amazing views. It's something you definitely don't want to miss. Also, let's make sure that we also include Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has great courses, great views. You don't need a passport to get there. It is an easy trip with great experiences left and right, great cuisine, great people. It's just really a golf destination that I don't hear enough people talking about. And for those people that are starting their golf trip life, I would definitely include Puerto Rico as a destination to start off with. Next, let's go to family. The great family destination that is not part of the Connected 48 is Hawaii. I would actually recommend Hawaii that if you're going on a family trip, maybe lean towards Maui and maybe lean towards Kauai and for a romantic getaway. We did it for our baby moon. Played 2 courses, enjoyed them immensely. Very different terrain, gorgeous views everywhere you look, but a lot of activities. And then you have the beach and the relaxation. Everything's perfect. Hawaii is just perfectly suited for a great getaway. It's a destination I wouldn't recommend for buddies because it's a lot to go all the way out there. But if you happen to have some buddies, or maybe a group of guys have a group of girls that they all want to take out, Hawaii is something you definitely want to put in play. And for also romantic getaways, oh, also for families, Cabo was great. Um, the resort we stayed at, Pueblo Bonito, had a separate um, adults only, and then also had a great family resort, and you could bounce around between the two. And a few other resorts had situations like that. So if you want an adults only, it's great for a family getaway, for an adult romantic getaway, and then if you have your family, it's really a great destination where you have a lot of things going on. A lot of these resorts are just fully built out, and the courses are phenomenal and always in great condition. In addition to romantic getaways, I also like to throw Costa Rica in there. Just a great destination to get away from all of the stresses of life. Very relaxed vibe. Pretty good courses. So we will be following up with more videos like this very soon. I think the experience of travel is something all golfers need to really incorporate into their lives. And here at 4 Golf Nerds Only, if you have any questions, please write them in the comments. We'll respond. If you have any subjects that you want us to focus on, we'll definitely add those and have some follow-up videos about those topics. It's always great. Charles Brown, please make sure that you follow me on Instagram at 4 Golf Nerds Only. You can also follow me at The Boss Golfs. Make sure you're enjoying the game and enjoying the experiences you have out there. Bye.